Children, children, flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. Speak your hearts to me that overflow. You cling around my feet like creeping vines, as if I could protect you from your woes. Could I not do so much more? With mine own eyes, I came to get the facts. No messengers to tell me second hand. Or will I sit back and watch and nod my head and pass a few more laws? No, I'm out here and on the streets, face to face. So speak, old grey hairs. You are the wise ones here. Fill my ears with your dread tales of grief. Poor men. Your eyes have shrunken into sunken holes. So let me, king, chief and head of state, blow away those ragged clouds of fear with one great puff of regal power. So come on, men, let's hear the rattle in your throat.
King Oedipus, great sovereign and lord, you witness, young and old and those between, moms suckling newborn brats who pray their sprats will grow into full-grown men, and in the marketplace are offerings burned to the gods of fire, earth and air, since they've broke their bonds to keep this world in harmony. Now look upon our city. See the storms that batters down the streets in rains of blood. The fruit is twisted and rotten on the tree, as well as in our daughters' wombs. A plague, rot, fever stalks the town, pouring its filthy breath into our lungs until black bile spurts from our very mouths, where we once bewitched our wives with songs.
That is why we bend and chafe our knees before you, Master of the Universe, commander of men and the bridge to those who live above our human misery, who ride upon Apollo's mighty steeds. Remember, it was you who freed the city once before, great king. You bribed the talons of the filthy sphinx from round the throat, silenced her riddling tongue. So Oedipus, our most vulnerable chief, we cry, we beg, we all kneel down. Rescue a good city once again. A word from you, just whisper to the gods, will carry far more weight than all our prayers. Or else, your own high-flown intelligence that soars upon vibrations in the air, make us a clue. The way you snatch a gnat that's buzzing in your ear. So be a king of men, and not of ghosts.
Grim news, my children. Yet, not new to me. From mine own bed, I heard your nightly cries. I could not pull that sweet blanket of sleep over my eyes, nor sink into oblivion, since each new cry would pierce my heart. You did not wake a dozing man, my friends. Our city is cursed with some noxious malice, yet none so cursed and sick as I, who bleed for you, the city. My wife, Jocasta, and I, tortured in mind and soul, did clutch at straws, anything to find some clues. So come on, let's put some strong wind in our sails. We will navigate these troubled seas, my friend, and find safe harbour soon, I promise you. Yes, easy to mouth metaphors, I know. They're just some words to put some stiffness in our spine. Some oars to row us when we are becalmed. So I have sent for Creon, our queen's brother, to sniff the land where great Apollo roams. There he will find some answers. Who knows, some angry gods bearing a grudge, or someone here forgot to pay their dues. But whatever the cost, we'll make it up. Okay? When Creon comes, the instant he arrives, whatever the demands are from the boss, we'll do it straight. No fear, no compromise, no can we negotiate a deal. Renege on words that have been stamped and sealed. It's peace we want, security for our state.
Now these are the words we love to hear. And bang on time for look, your brother Creon appears.
See his heaving chest. Here's that sweet smell of success.
He looks a winner who flicked the dice, and it's come up nicely, double six.
Just hold your horses, my friends. We're at the starting gate and not yet won the race. Hey, brother, how are you? What's the news? We burst to know.
Favourable! Our wounds will surely heal. And one day, when they're fading scars, we point at them and have a rare old laugh.
But how and where and when and why? Come on, you torment us with mystery. We want hard news.
Do you want the world to hear, so every mouth will tell the story according to their fears?
Well, yes. Speak out to all, the collective ear. It is just as much for them as it is for you and me.
Okay. No sweat. I'll give it to you straight. She says, cut out the monstrous growth within that feeds and fattens itself on the body politic, like some vile cancer feasting on your limbs.
But how? What medicine should we apply to cure this dread disease that spreads its pox upon the public face like shiny white pearls waiting to suppurate?
Banishment. Or else death for a death. The city frets, a splinter in its flesh festering a septic poison. Pull it out. The criminals who shed the precious blood of our grey King Laius, slaughtered like a dog.
Murder of King Laius is the cause.
It is a crime unsolved and must be purged. Its sin stinks up the land just like a corpse left rotting and unburied in the sun.
Yes, I know he's a much respected king. My ears are never empty of his deeds.
He was a goodly king, and just to all. Headstrong and bold, and not unlike yourself.
Yes, my wife does sometimes make comparison. I shrink beneath the legend of the man. Unfortunately, never had a chance to meet.
The killers live and breathe and must be found. We must catch the assassins, blood for blood. By drawing theirs, our blood will then be pure.
Yes, but how? The killers could be any place on earth. Why did you not sniff this out when the Gauls was hot upon the stones?
The city was in chaos and the Sphinx distracted our attention with their crimes. Besides, some factions live for anarchy, festering like rats beneath the street. But when the dread assassination comes, watch how they crawl out of their cracks and squeak.
So, find the needle in the
The
stack.
god said here. It's here. Seek and you shall find.
What, here? The killer boldly struts and gloats? Were there no witnesses to the event?
All done to death, except just one who fled from highwaymen. Or at least that's what he said.
What else did he say?
Daylight, cut down, a robbers pounding clubs. It's hot, the sun's blinding my eyes. The dust is rising. The horses shriek to a halt, rear. We jolt forward, horses paw the ground, sneering at the bit. Through the haze, a man or men standing, grinning, outlined shadows. The light smacks your eyes. Breathing horses, otherwise deadly quiet. A shout! The echo bounces off the hill, returns mocking the king. Its owner's ear. Get back! Get back or else you'll feel my wrath! A sword is drawn, bright, dazzling, the king's. The robbers, bandits scream, spittle shines their lips. A crow wills in the sky, the sun's behind them. Outnumbered, the clubs rise and fall, just like they were cracking walnuts. I turned and fled, and didn't turn back to look. That's what he said. Those were his very words.
Anarchists, perhaps hungry for power, paid a bribe to carry out this crime of regicide.
But then why vanish into thin air and hide? Why not take advantage of the headless throne?
Perhaps they plan to catch me off guard whilst journeying on behalf of the affairs of state. The rats that crawl out the drains at night will always seek harder to bite us when we are asleep. And therefore the cause of Laius is also mine. We must not rest nor tire till we have found the snake and pulled it from its musty lair.
Children, rise. The king hath raised our hopes, and we've heard Apollo's mighty words that ring in my head like thunderclaps. Now we must act when this foul and cruel curse.
The golden voice from Delphi's shrine, we celebrate!
Oh, give us hope.
What's our fate?
We faint with fear by what we'll find. 1,000 sorrows none can decipher. We're given the answer that evil is here, but how will we find it?
And where will we look?
We can search forever, but people are dying. Our faces are riddled, our soft skin is rotted. Afraid to touch lovers, dead babies delivered, the graves overflowed, the pus overflowed, the tears always flow, we melt in our acids! Our tongues turn to bile. Our boils big as hives, our blood thick as glue, our seeds turn to dust, worm-eaten we rust, eyes covered in crust, we awake every morning, eyes open in fear.
What will we find?
Examine our loved ones.
Is that a new swelling?
Was that man always there?
Or is it a light, a shadow that's crawled over your face? I cover my eyes, but then I hear your breathing is quicker, the rasping of air as life struggles through the waterlogged lungs. I cover my ears to shut out the sound that you make as you drown. I close my eyes, I shut up my ears! But then I feel your chest against mine, your heart beating loudly, pounding and pounding, telling me something. Escape from this place of evil. The heart pounds against the walls of its cage, wishing, oh wishing, it too could escape. I cover my ears, I cover my eyes, I move from your body, but then I smell the dead bodies outside in the carts. I smell your dying, I smell your own death. I cover my eyes, my hands are clasped hard tight to my ears. I shut off my nose, I sleep all alone, away from your dying, flesh in your bones, away from the pounding fist of your heart beating faster and faster until it must burst. Now all is silent. I fall into sleep. I dream of your dying. I see your face swelling. I feel your heart pounding. I hear your lungs drowning. I cannot escape. I leave my lone bed. I unblock my nose. I unclasp my ears. I turn to my loved ones. I sponge off your sores. I hold you so close. I share your pain. I feel your heart fading. You die in my arms. Not lonely in sorrow. Not empty and cold. You die in my arms. A smile on your lips, and soon I will follow. I awoke the next morning, and I spied a new swelling.
Was that always there?
Or is it a shadow, formed by my hair?
Champion Apollo, send us fiery shafts of hope, shot out from the great sun's bow. O Bacchus, god of bursting life, let us drink the wholesome wine.
That's it. Pray your guts out till you gasp. Then listen. Absolute mercy is at hand. Now, hear my master plan to halt the plague. My knowledge of the crime, of course, is slight.
Oh, that we know.
But I need some help to help track the killer down. So I ask you all, as man to man, no beating about the bush, so hear me straight.
We listen!
One of you, just one soul knows the truth. So heave it out, ventilate your secret.
Ooh.
Don't fear for your skin, my friends. There's gold for you too. Try not to think or use words like inform or betray. Don't hide some filthy scum that shares your blood, brother or sister, mother or in-law. Or, I'm not a dirty spy, I'm not a sneak. Now that is a misconception of the truth. If anyone gives roof to the assassin, or nourishes the beast within our midst, then just hear this. Pay attention! Take heed. 'Twere better he had never been born. I will cut him off from all human embrace. No ritual, speech, sacrifice, or even mate could warm his heart or sweeten his sour bed. Thrust out from our embrace, this man will be a symbol of pestilence, A brand I'll stamp upon his loathsome head, so folks will point at the foul fiend and say, "Get out!
Get out!
You horrid lump of wretchedness!" And children will spit and throw stones at this disgusting traitor's wickedness.
Yes, that's just the way you said it, sir. And that's fair enough, I'd say.
And I will take the medicine I prescribe, since if by some wild chance the killer is within the royal palace. Close to me. Then on myself I'll invoke every curse I just proclaimed. This I do swear. And no man ever can be or will be more sincere.
Oh, we hear you, King, and we believe in you.
We'll help try and pay for your neglect.
Neglect?
Yes, neglect. To solve the monarch's death. I hold his precious sword in my belt. I sleep the good night in his bed. I mean, I share his wife with him, untimely dead. But such ties in blood oblige me to revenge, just like a father would by his son. And those that choose to disobey this edict, then I will beg the gods to curse their fields, so nothing there will grow but weeds and wounds condemned to fructify with freaks.
Sir, we're not bad to ourselves by filling the air with evil eye. But to exonerate ourselves from sin, we know not who the killer is. Apollo! Is here within. So let him point the culprit out.
Yes. Don't think he's calling us crazy.
We cannot order the gods about to do our dirty work. What, while we sit back and watch? Oh, thank you, gods. Yeah, next time there's an issue, please send us the bill. No. We ask the gods what is the way. Like when you were lost, you ask a stranger what is the way. You expect that person to tell you, not hold your hand and walk with you. Be brave. Put one foot in front and the other will follow. The journey's good to teach us something, so they say.
Send for Tiresias. Though born blind, she sees the truth within men's minds. The woman sees all. Her tunic fork will soon pry the bad vibrations out.
Twice I've tried to reach Tiresias, but oracles seem to march to a different tune. Let's hope her fork will vibrate soon, but there's still someone around who gives a damn. You're the smart one here, you begin.
To start the old tale, some say it smells. Some other, a cover-up, that he met his death by travelling vagabond! Well, villains always make ideal fall guys when there's more at stake. But it's a start, and there's a witness too.
A witness? I want that witness re-examined. Squeeze him, just a little in case there's some flavour for us left to taste.
He'd be a bold one for sure to sleep at night with your curse sitting inside his brain.
Evil cannot hear the sounds of pain.
Here comes the one who hears the sound of human woe. The holy prophet speaks, a living fount of truth.
Welcome, great mystic, visionary, scribe. Oh, darkness hides your eyes. You see far more of what men try to keep inside. You feel, I'm sure, the city's agony. Our dearest wish, hope and prayer too, is that you'll shed some light in these dark times. Apollo sent us a message. You want deliverance from the plague, he says. Then extirpate the very cause of it. The king killers, while they live in our midst, the earth is cursed while they do live on it. And so we come to you. You are the eyes, ears and senses of our time. Please help us and save us from this dread affliction. Save yourself, save the city and save me.
What suffering might I bring to end this pain? The surgeon's scalpel hurts. To make a gain, I'm not sure I'm the one to wield this knife.
What makes you now so full of doubt?
The blade once in might bring more things to light, so let me go. Believe me, it is better so.
Call that an answer? To refuse to speak, you leave the city more confused and bleak.
You want fair words, then try to frame your own, to be persuasive, king, and much less terse.
By all the gods, do not deny us now. We bend our knees. I'm ready and I can take it. Just spit it out.
Then, king, the hard foundations of your house would shake.
What? You mean you know the cause, but will not speak? You would let the city die in pain and ignorance?
The pain would overwhelm us both, my king. Don't let this monster out of its cage, I plead.
What monster? Do we have another sphinx? Don't yak in riddles, prophet. Speak clearly now. Or is it possible that our wise old seer over here doesn't have an iota of an idea?
I look inside your heart and I see what's there.
Hear that? I mean, that's gold. Insult your king, 'cause it's clear to see he doesn't know a bloody thing.
It will out in time, I need not say it now. I've had no say, so spit and rage away.
Oh, don't worry, miss. I do not intend to waste my time and fakes and charlatans. You have conned your way too many years, old pal. A bullshit artist. Go on, take a hike, for my anger tempts me to be rash.
Oh, is that your well-considered plea? Then you shall know you spit against the wind. The very curse you have trumpeted to all is sliding down your own impostor's face.
I can't believe your hate.
No hate moves me to speak, from truth we grow.
It staggers my imagination so. Speak the message again. This time keep it slow.
I tell you,
You're the murderer that you seek.
The thing is insane. I will have you bound in chains.
the knife now in too deep to pull it out. Shall I reveal the other loathsome growth?
Oh, go on. Mouth away your fantasies.
I say that you and your beloved wife are wrapped in sheets of a most hideous sin.
Just like the snake, it needs to bite.
The truth will only hurt the ones who hide.
Truth is a filthy word your mouth secretes. Blinds woman no less in mind than in vision.
Remember those last words, they'll be your epitaph.
No, I'm clean. I live in God's light.
Don't rail against the wind, it's to no avail. Remember Apollo's words. Search your own house.
Oh, I would reap the rewards I never asked for. You put a royal kinship in my fist. What loathsome envy did my fame inspire? Ah, Creon, was it you, my loyal friend? Did you go slavering behind my back to stick your ugly arse into my throne by witchcraft grab and snatch? Conspiring with fairground fate to reach your path? And probably feeding them the lines too. You fooled the people all this time, my friend, but when it came to pass the acid test, it was the Sphinx that exposed your sad magician's tricks. Where was your fame then, in which you're so famed? Asleep, of course, since you're the village fake, yet I, a simple man named Oedipus, had this thing we like to call streetwise. Now the snake decides to crawl inside the palace and King Creon by his side. Oh, how you'll see your own villainy turn on me.
Oedipus, you speak in wrath, my friend. It muddles up your wits. Your mind is sunk. It's been the cutting edge upon which many falls to the deep coast and deeply bled. Don't blunt it now. Just let her speak. Since what she says is based on signs from birds. An old technique. But if not, she'll hang herself with her own words.
So clench your fists does not become a king.
Not to raise your voice.
And have only knees that bend. You forbid the truth to scour out your house, afraid in case a little light discovers that rattling skeleton in your cupboard. I am a queen, I reign over my tongue. That is my subject that demands an equal say. But the weakness of your wit stoops to the ground, and childlike mocks the fact that I am blind. But I say you are blind, outside and in, blind to your birth, blind to your origin, blind to the hate that's sleeping in your bed, blind to the curse a dying father left, blind to his widow's prayer to avenge his death. And one day their words will be like pointed thongs and lash you all the way to your exile. And you will spend your days in endless night, tormented by ugly dreams that will not fade. Oh, the horrors stored away inside your brain. See, I can hurl abuse as well as you, except my words sting with the ring of truth, don't they, Mr. King?
Gods, must I listen to this loathsome thing? Slide back beneath your rock, you slug.
You called for me, I never would have come.
Yes, that is a stone I should have left unturned.
You grew to be a fool, yet born wise.
What know you of my parents, since you know all?
This day will be the answer to all your quests. Your hand, let us go.
Your riddance is a blessing in my eyes.
Then let your blessings be delayed a while. This person that you hope to smoke out with your threats, this thug that spilled the blood of great King Lear, this killer you will recognize at once. Be patient, King, and you will shortly see the unraveling of this murder mystery. You want some clues. He's Theban born and bred, fathered 4 children and came their brother. A son became a husband to his mother, and that same son slaughtered his own father. So chew on these words for a little time. You're very good at riddles, or so you boast. But if I'm going at too fast a pace, next time you print before the looking glass, you'll find that answer staring you in the face.
There is a stone that speaks. Will it track down a man? His crime not purged, quivering in his secret den, knowing the fates are closing in. The criminal mind is never free. Guilt chews through his broken sleep. His acid sweat eats up the ground, digging a hole for his grave.
Deceased words cast a cloud in Oedipus. He cannot confirm, he cannot deny. It's insane, a great big why.
There was no quarrel between the men. This is not a killer king made mad by greed, or a sneaky dirty thief.
Or a man who lusts for power. I defeated the Sphinx, he risked his life.
Who is the witness? Apollo knows. Is the prophet infallible? No man is.
I will not judge before the proof. Find me the evidence, not of words.
Anyone can shout and spew, but I'll not convict. Oedipus, guilty? It doesn't fit!
It doesn't make sense.
Why would you even not speaking and do that? It doesn't make any sense.
Citizens, in haste, I fly to acquit myself of this monstrous charge, this lie thrown at my feet by Oedipus the king. It stinks like some foul piece of rancid meat. It will distract a dog or two, but you know me. Could you believe not in your wildest dreams I would deceive the king, commit one act that has a taint of something dirty, underhand, unclean? I'd rather die than have my life stained by this most unjustifiable and filthy crime.
The charges were made when tempers were afraid.
It is said that I colluded with Asia and paid her to poison the city's ear.
We cannot comprehend why it was said, but here, the master comes. Let him confess.
Oh, bold-faced wretch. How dare you step inside this door? Murderer! King killer! Audacious. Why, you've got some bloody neck. Some guts to think you can take me on! You're trying to take my place. You know, some people are so hungry for that rural cloak, they will stop at nothing to get it. Choke their own grandmother. Sell their own children into slavery. Or worse. No deed is too foul they would not do to woo the smiling, waving universe.
So tell me, my king, just what is this crime of mine? Tell me some facts, don't just rant and whine.
Right. So, you got me to send for that insane seer. But tell me this. How many years since Laius died?
Some 15 years, or a little less.
Right, and was your prophet spouting her lava then?
She was, and honoured far and wide.
Oh! And yet failed to mention me.
That's right, your name never did pass her lips.
And yet, you did investigate the good king's death.
We did, sir. Low and high and high and low. The killer seemed to disappear into the sky.
Then please reflect, oh why your wise old seer didn't point her scabby finger in my face! Silence! Sure.
That I can't begin to answer for.
Yeah, now, 15 years later, a little bird sits on my shoulder, whispers in my ear. Who's that bird, my tweeting brother-in-law?
Why? Why should I want the aggravation? My status is assured behind the scenes. I'm rewarded, rich, and want for naught. A tranquil mind respected by his peers. A lovely wife that graces all my days with children perfect stamped with her own seal. Why should I jeopardize my treasured realm to grasp the nettle of a kingly wealth? No! And once again it's no, no, and no! A tranquil mind does not desire strife, and treason is a strange commodity. Go on, man. Put me to the test. Visit Delphi, beg Apollo's voice. Are Creon's words a lie out of a traitor's mouth? And should the impossible be true, that you should find confirmation from above that I did plot your fall with fortune tellers, then snuff both our lives out in a flesh. You're killing, even now, the sweetest friendship. And what is life without friends? Cold and bare. Cool down the brain. You must take time to think. Don't saw the branches beneath your very feet.
He makes a worthy point. I would beware of jumping to swift conclusions, sir.
Swiftness prevents the rot from settling in. Deliberate too long, and you give the enemy a chance to plan and execute their plots.
Like a rabid dog, you bark and fret.
The dog that will not hesitate to bite.
So self-certain, so cocksure you're in the right.
What's right? My life stands evidence for me. For 15 happy, peaceful years, I've lived my life in blameless sweet content. And now, 15 years later, you decide now to throw these deprecations upon my head. You decide now that the city is unsure and weak, and that I am guilty of the crime of regicide.
You wretched fools! How absurd men behave when gifted with full-witted brains. What a shame to argue like embittered foes when all around the land is dying. Slowly, begging, howling, gasping for the truth. While you two spit like raging alley cats.
Spit, you say? His venom's from a snake. Your husband wishes now to extirpate my very face from this entire land and ban me from my rights, my life, or instant death.
For plotting against the king, against my person. My wife. Surely you know the punishment for treason.
God strike me dead if I'm a guilty man. Poor creature. The plague has made you lose your reason.
Oedipus! My brother treads a narrow path. You hear he has made an oath to God to strike him dead if he is not pure at heart.
When has he lied before? Deceived or betrayed? When? How? Give an example. Search your mind.
Monsters give birth when it is time, and not before. Now the city is being invaded because of the chaos caused.
Never a friend betray or else disgrace. If friendship is your love of man and faith, accuse a friend, you then accuse yourself.
Right, so let me put the cards upon the table. You would prefer not banishment or death to help cure the plague. Perhaps a change of faith.
No. Now God forbid such thoughts. Let Helios burn, set me on fire, extinguish me to dust if such craving thoughts sit in my head.
So I should let him go. That's what you want. I therefore abrogate my harsh demand, so he may spread his filthy lies like fleas upon the city's pale and rotting flesh.
Choose to forgive and then you cannot hate. Your anger is like a storm that has spread. Now let us see the clouds pass from your
Out
face.
of my sight! Your cringing, bleeding tongues are like a constant beating drum inside my head.
Oedipus, my darling husband, my king, tell me what has thus provoked you so?
Willingly, but sadly too, my wife. Your brother Krill, he seeks to destroy our lives.
But why? Tell me clearly what's his cause.
It's insane. Unbelievable. Your gods. You barely shake the maniac's words between my lips.
Just calmly, tell me now.
He makes me,
Yes,
me your loving and devoted husband,
yes,
me who risked his life to kill the Sphinx,
yes,
me who fought for his country these long years.
yes, yes.
He makes me the killer of King Laius.
Oh my God. But what evidence has he got to make this charge?
None at all, but the thoughts of that seer, the thoughts that Creon planted there.
Then let me, my darling, heal your bloody wounds, since legends, lies, and malice like keen whips have bit into my darling husband's flesh. There is no art of prophecy. I have facts. Facts are hard and fast and certain proof. Once, long ago, there came to Laius an oracle, a man all kings by habit desired to meet, naively believing in strange signs, in how the birds do shape their morning flight, the way they shrill when returning to the nest, or even read their crap upon the roof. As I would guess, since kingship needs some help to ease the weight from the incumbent's neck. The madman claimed that Laius would meet his fate at the hands of our own precious child, no less. So Laius, suspending kingly judgment, leaves our son, just born, a babe of 3 days, to perish ankle-tied, just like a peasant's unwanted sin. And yes, there was a murder. Laius was killed, but by some unknown bandits, some murdering scum that scour the highway where 3 roads meet. There you see, the oracle cannot make you do what they prognosticate. The stars are God's lights for God's great journeys, and not dice with which he gambles with your life.
My wife, each word has struck a chord, a memory buried deep within.
What memory have I disturbed?
Laius met his fate, you say, where 3 high roads meet.
That's how the tale is told.
3 roads, where? Where did this act occur?
Where the road from Delphi
Meets the road from Fotis.
But you knew that, you asked me once before.
How many years ago?
Some short time
Before I came into power.
Yes, the news was scattered everywhere.
Oh, how we are the playthings of the gods.
What is it, husband? What dreams are now awakened?
I cannot reveal the picture inside my brain.
Your wife will take the pain, extracted like a thorn.
If only you could. Laius, tell me his age, what shape, what look.
Tall, his sable hair was streaked with silver. In looks, gaunt, strong, an eagle's piercing eye. In form, not far removed from you.
I sink into a pit. A pit so deep I cannot even see its depth.
Where are you now, my love? What pit?
A pit so dark and inescapable. I'm afraid now of the Eyeless One. What has she seen in that infernal gloom?
Nothing, only the fear that they planted in your mind, Oedipus. Tell me and I will pluck it out.
I'll try to paint the picture once again. Help me fill in the details. Did Laius set out on that fateful day with his usual bodyguard of men?
It frightens me to tell you.
Just tell me that.
5 people there were in all, and 1 the herald. Just a single chariot for the king.
I sink again into a pit of snakes. My wife, who told you of this horrid hour?
The one person who escaped the bandits.
Bandits? Yes, this man, still alive, still in this house perchance.
No, the person was much distraught with grief for failing to defend their honoured lord. And when they saw you reigning in his place, they begged on bended knees to leave the state, to live a shepherd's life far from the memory and sight of thieves.
To see this man is now my greatest need.
But how are they helpful, the details you ask?
Some things are best left in the head. Words once out spread like the canker. They need no compost, just foul men's breath.
But me, cannot you trust your words to me?
Well, yes, of course. I will need your help to help me climb from this hellish pit. And I need to share with you this story. My father, Polybus, and my mother, Merope, they were the foundation of my youthful life. They showered me in love unquestionable. Through them, I grew into the city's foremost man. One day, this loudmouth drunk was overheard to say that I was not in fact Polybus's son. His blood did not course through my veins. I fretted all that day, but dared to ask, am I the one and only issue of your love? Yes, yes. Yes, again they said each. Yes, a hammer blow to my doubts, but still, a tiny worm of doubt remained for me to stamp on for all these years, and so I fled. To Delphi. To the oracle, in search of some answers. Tell me who I am, I said. I beg you lay the truth down at my feet.
Man accursed, kills his father, his creator, returns to the womb of his maker. Where he exits, he enters. His progeny accursed.
Why? Why me? Why choose me?
You were not chosen. It is luck. A game of dice.
Some are accursed.
Some born to suffer.
Some live long lives.
Some children die.
Some are afflicted.
Some perfect bloom.
Some are born rich.
Some born to be poor.
Who is to say?
Why? What? Why me? Determined to avoid this destiny, I fled. A year did pass before I stopped my feet, before I dared to even shake the dust from off my feet. I stood. The exact spot where 3 roads meet. And as I stood and wondered which to take, I heard this voice. Out of my way! Imperious, like a blow, it stung my ears, and I turned to face the owner of that sound. And a man, just as you described. Tall, silver-haired, horse-drawn chariot stomped and reared. The groom, he tried to run me off the road. I threw him to the ground with his own whip, in which he tried to inflict on me his master's wrath. Silence. Just the panting of the horses and this man and stares. And even now, I recall the way in which he fixed me with his eyes, as if to fit a piece of a jigsaw into place. No, old man, I do not wish to hurt. But he, rising, raises his double-pointed club and brings it crashing down upon my head. A glancing blow. Then I felt a flow of blood. A trickle, curling down my cheeks. Silence. He smiles. His guards, now they smile too. Why? Why don't you just go, old man? We've traded one for one, but no! A second time he lifts his arms. No! No, old man, not again! I broke his skull. With one swing of my stick he fell, and there, where he fell, he lay down, dead. The others, rushing in to embrace his fate, joined him at once. I killed them all except the groom, who still lay panting on the ground. There, the picture nearly complete. Is Laius the unknown nobleman I slew? And like a dirty thief I stole his wife. Her husband's blood still warm on my hands. Accursed by man, by God, and banned forever from your love. Give me the cruelest blow of them all. I want to fly, but where? There is no place. All this curse still hangs over my head, in which I kill my father and wed my mother. And my father, Polybus. Not an hour goes by, I do not see his face. I'd rather just become a hermit in some cave.
By what you say, my king, you were a pawn. A victim fate embroidered into its net. You did not set out to kill the king. Rather, your hand was guided by some other force, and you acted by the rules of self-defense. But wait until you have heard the witness first.
My life now hangs upon the herdsman's words. I must sweat it out until he arrives.
But what can the herdsman say to ease your fears?
His words could be the knife to cut the noose, slowly tightening around my throat. His words, please, God, his words will set me free. If they match yours.
What words, my love? What did I say?
You said that several bandits struck him down. That's what you said. Those words, those precious words proclaim me innocent. But if, oh horrid word, if he describes a solitary man where three roads meet, then the chasm opens its jaws wide again.
Never can that herdsman undo the words they wove into our ears so many years ago. The whole town gathered in the square to hear their story, and men wept and bowed their heads. The day a great king dies, no one forgets. But even, let us say, a catastrophe, and lightning strikes the herdsman on the way. Did not your insane oracle predict that Laius would die by a son of mine? And he, poor darling, long ago did die. After this, I'd laugh at prophets' visions, reading sheep's entrails or twinkling stars.
I would love to share your optimism. Your female wisdom blows away the clouds of fear. Superstition crawls into a hole. But I must hear the husband's words, nevertheless.
Well, he is on his way. But let us rest from all this grief and all life's cares. Let me look after my troubled boy a while.
The law is a radiant light. It shines on all our flaws. The law is a sun that warms and heals.
The man who thinks he's above the law stuffed with pride, power drunk, stumbles in darkness, blind, disobeys his own eyes. The law is like a river, flowing feeds the parched and hungry earth. Then famine, sickness, and death follow.
I bathe myself in God's law. I wash my hands from the greed. I scour my heart from petty needs. I could not pray, could not fast, unless I believed in Apollo's words. If the oracles are turned to lies, what can we believe?
No, I have not lost belief, but must beware there are too many messengers. Each one anoints himself the mouth of God, and now I fear there are too many mouths, and in the babble cannot hear the sound that will unlock the mystery for Oedipus. All he hears is the high-pitched shrieks of fear. My words are drowned out by their cries. Why are men so eager to accept bad things that will only cause them distress, as if sweet joys like love and happiness are merely toys which soon are torn away?
Heaven shine down on you! Great blessings, Queen. The perfect wife for perfect Oedipus.
Oh, and blessed be you, good sir, for your kindly words. Let's hope the news you bring is no less sweet.
Oh, I bring news, madame, to make you sing!
Thank God, I'll sing all night if it be fair.
Well, it be bittersweet as well.
Suddenly my throat is tightened up. Just let it out and swiftly now.
King Polybus, the sire of Oedipus, did die a peaceful old age death. Another was King Oedipus the reign.
Oh, I knew it. Yes, I did. Was I not right? Oh, too many noises were jangling in his ear. The forecast of the gods I spit upon.
What? There's some news. My heart beats like a drum pounds in my chest.
There is. Listen to this man. Just speak again.
Your father is no more. King Polybus is dead.
By murder or by some disease?
Oh no. It's a little puff of wind. Down falls the leaf.
My poor loving father. And yet such sweet relief from my fears. Away with delivering into Pythian oracles. What will be, will be. I do not wish to know my footsteps in 10 years' time, in case in trepidation waiting I trip headlong and break my neck. My father's dead and sleeping soundly in the earth while I'm here, my sword still sheathed. Or did I kill him so with grief? Did he pine away to see his son? No, but grief and murder are not stablemates. No, Tiresias, where are your accusations now? Sell him in the marketplace for dates.
I told you, darling. Did I not tell you so?
Yes, you did. I was sick with dread and fear that fate should prearrange my life to make me kill the man that gave me life. Then the fates do still have the other half about my mother.
As false as the half which said you'd kill a king to get into your mother's bed. How many men have dreams of mother marrying? You dismiss them in the morning's cleansing light.
All good. All perfect sense. My father dead and yet my mother Moreau still alive.
How can this old and tender lady frighten you?
Well, there was this insane...
Oh no, don't tell me it cannot be divulged.
It can, and fate has lost the race. Apollo prophesied that I, as son, would couple with my mother and kill the man that God's ordained should be my father. He's put me far from my parents' eyes. A cruel blow never to see your mother again, nor glow under your father's swelling cries.
This is the fear that made you flee.
Yes, yes, this most wretched prophecy.
Wait.
I'm bottled up just like a cork about to pop, and scatter sweetest wine. And just one sip will kill your words, king.
Well, that's the wine I'd like to drink. No price could ever be too high.
You fled because of this strange prophecy.
Yes, yes, again, spit out what you know.
But wait! You were afraid, did you not say so? In case you did besmirch your parents' nest.
Yes, Yes, again, I am always afraid of that dream.
Then let me put your mind and soul at his king. Oedipus was not, in fact, your father king.
What? How could you utter such an insane thing?
Because it's true. He gave you love, not life.
He worshipped me, he called me son.
Oedipus took you happily from my arms. You see, he had no children of his own.
Then who am I? From whence did I come?
You were discovered in the woods of Cotterall.
God, man. Theban Hills, you found me there.
That's where I used to tend my flocks.
A shepherd finds me in the woods.
And luckily it was a savior's son.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you are. Yes.
Your little feet were tightly bound like a chicken, thrust up to face the slaughterer.
The ancient pain I sometimes feel.
I loosed your feet and massaged your small limbs.
Still have the mark on my foot.
For swollen foot, your new father said, holding you up without showing his eyes. You were a prize from heaven, he said, and wept.
Swollen foot. The name did seem to stick. But who left me there as food for the wolves?
This I do not know. The man who found you, he could tell most like your origins.
Well, who is this man? Where is he?
Your own good people best could answer that.
Well, speak out. If any of you know this man or have seen him in the woods or the hills, gold or throw it then that gives me a name.
But sir, it was the selfsame headsman, the very man you asked to see before. So Casta here can be the judge of that.
What? This herdsman, is he the missing link, the survivor of this murderous attack?
Why dig into the ashes of the past like a street cat that seeks some morning scraps? Forget it, darling, it's not worth it now.
Forget it. It's the final link I need to complete the chain which I can wrap around my uncle's bloody
For
neck.
God's sake, that's enough! I can't listen anymore.
Enough, but who cares if I'm the love child of a slave? Every being deserves to know their roots, darling.
I'm warning you. It's folly to proceed.
And I believe that you're afraid of the truth.
If the truth will cause you more distress.
So you like wandering in the dark?
Yes, I am begging only for our happiness.
If truth were perched on top of Mount Olympus, I would crawl on my hands and knees through broken glass.
Then crawl back to the man you once were. But when you find him, God help you, my friend.
Where is this herdsman? Bring him here at once.
Farewell, my love, and poor deluded man. I've lost you twice and you are damned.
Lost me? What do you mean you've lost me twice? Does it maybe prove that I'm just a peasant left to die by some poor and frightened slave? As many do. Babes were like surplus fruit thrown out for the birds to feast upon. And yet, now I think my queen is mightily ashamed to think that her bed was by a slave's son stained. I do not blush under my own motherhood. I will love and embrace her who gave me life.
Who is your mother? Where is she? A simple woman lost in love. The father's gone. Alone she wept as she lay her bundle down up on the mountainside, as to the poor when they are big with child. No maids and slaves to celebrate the warm new life. No, she must go snuff out with tears her own light that pours from her bleeding heart. Oedipus we celebrate, the precious light that was not blown out.
Look, my senses tell me that's the man. The herdsman we've been looking for, he's old enough and he suits this old man.
We know him from afar, King Laius' servant.
Now, Crin, tell me carefully, is this, without doubt, the man you mean?
The very same, there is no doubt.
Good sir. First of all, I'd like to thank you. Now tell me, were you in King Laius' pay?
Yes, sir. Born and bred to serve the king.
Right, in what way did you serve the good king?
Chiefly a shepherd, sir, tending his flocks.
Good. Then you came across this other shepherd here.
What mean you, sir?
Come. This shepherd, have you not seen him before?
That I couldn't say, not now for sure.
Then let me talk the old boy's memory, yes? You can't forget those wooded slopes of Cotterall. The smell of pineapple on a summer breeze, where we did crowds serving some wine. Good neighbors for 3 long years. Now tell me, fellow, am I right or wrong?
Oh yes, you're right. It was long ago.
Now you must remember this. Oh, friend, don't you recall a tiny baby boy? You thrust it into my arms. Please, keep him safe, you said. I can't just leave him here to die. I can't. Each precious life is like a miracle from God. And tears were streaming down your face.
Now what are you saying? What are these questions for?
Now take a look. The child you nobly saved is standing right there. She was a babe.
I think a little more than crazy.
What are the words you say, shepherd?
Good king, what have I done that's wrong?
Well, refuse to confirm what this man has sworn.
This man has mistaken me for someone else.
I will tear the truth from your ancient little throat. Now spit it out.
God help me. Sir, what is it that you must know?
Did you give the man the babe or no?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I did. I should have let him die.
Let me die? How dare you, vile old man? Regret now your single act of charity?
I was commanded to let you perish. But as you see, you are alive, strong, breathing.
Who gave you such a dread command? At least of honour you did countermand.
Before one more word leaves this head, please pull my tongue out my throat instead.
I will rather tear you limb from bloody limb and let you slowly bleed to death. Now speak, woman!
You came from the house of Laius, my lord.
Right. At last. A slave, perhaps. A reckless interlude the king might wish to hide.
Something like that.
Some things, not quite the link that fits.
The queen, perhaps, may have the peace you seek.
The queen gave you the child.
Just as you say.
With purpose to do what exactly?
To kill it. Get rid of the damn thing.
Child's own mother.
She cried. Oh God, I can't succor my own babe. Why have you cursed this innocent thing? I wish I could die instead, if that would take the curse from off its head. She cried.
What have you done?
I saved you out of pity, my lord. But now I see my pity was misplaced.
If you are the man he says you are, then Oedipus, you are condemned.
No, why should a man have his life stamped out and preordained? I think I'm king of my own destiny. I am. I shape my world. Or does the world shape me to fit its master plan? I chose my wife. Or did the gods put her upon a path in which we would surely meet? Since they can read the seeds of time, do they wish to play a cunning game and put me like Theseus in a maze, watching from behind me trying to escape, laughing like children tormenting flies? Am I their amusement? A living toy? No, no more. I will curtail your joy. I will be master of my own destiny. I will no longer witness what you have done. I take your world away.
Vanity and nothingness is a man's destiny. Swollen with fantasies, he strives vainly always to be the mirror's faithful effigy. He does not see the glass decay before his eyes. He feeds the mirror silver baubles, silken robes, and where the glass has sucked his flesh, he paints the shadows in rosy tints and squints to see if overnight a tributary has new emerged. He cries to see a silver thread appear. He plucks it out, only to find the next day 3 new silver friends are ensconced there.
Now he's afraid to stare harsh truth back in the face. He sits instead, counts his wealth, coins don't decay. He sits until his back is curved, his eyes can see the treasures piled so high they shut out the light.
The blazing sunsets pass him by, the stars are useless flecks of dust, the purple dawn a nagging light. He turns to face the unrelenting mirror and sees there are 2 dark holes instead of eyes. He is happy now to see the world outside is always night.
Poor Oedipus who navigates the selfsame stream from birth to man, who ploughed his own father's soil and sowed the seeds from whence he came.
Listen, my most honourable lords, if you can stand the pain, then if not, stuff your ears and hide your eyes. Disaster upon catastrophe. Bad news follows its friend like a lover pursued.
There's no grief that can hurt a body already flayed and whipped, so let's have it and quick.
I'll tell it quickly and quickly you'll hear. Our dear Queen Jocasta is dead.
No. This pain we did not hope to hear. This news has found an unmarked place to inflict new welts on the city's face.
By her own hand she wretched her life. Bursting through the double doors, she cried.
I cannot hope to see my son again. I cannot hold my children anymore. I cannot touch my husband's face. Oh, my darling ones, forgive, forgive.
Then she howled, she cried, or she did rage. Tearing at her precious silken skin, she carved out grooves that quickly filled. Called out just once the late King Lace's name, then thrust that royal head into a noose, using the self-same silken sheets in which they had so peaceful led. The final act I could not bear to see. All eyes were on the raving Oedipus. We hear him shouting down the hall.
Where's that bloody bleeding ground, my bed? From whence I made my entrance on this earth, and yet the beast returns to deal the blood. The criminal returns to the scene of the crime. Jocasta, what do I call you? Mother? Wife?
Bursting into the bridal suite, he shoves the doors into 100 pieces and breaks into a cry that can be heard even by the gods who must have paused.
Then we saw the horror behind the door. For then we saw the final scene unfold. Her, hanging, dangling, twisted. He mouth agape, sucking the air like a panting beast, eyes wide and blinking, as if he wished to paint the painful image in his tortured brain.
Unties the noose and lays her gently down, just like a lover with his virgin bride. Then, with his hands on her shoulders, he gently lowers his lips and imparts with a lingering farewell kiss.
But then, just in that loving moment, he pulled from off the dress the brooch. The pin held twin finger and thumb, then thrust it swift into his precious orbs again and yet again and one more time. A double fountain gushed with scarlet rain. Yet even then, yes, even then, he speaks.
At last. Oh, sweet darkness at long last. I sentence myself to perpetual exile. I can no longer see my red stain blind for so long with open eyes. Those red parasites! I tear them out! Great Apollo! Are you satisfied now?
Open the palace gates so that all may see the wretched perpetrators of their misery!
The criminal found out, exposed and tried. Poor man, the tower of strength is crumbled now.
The colossus battered by unceasing waves, shakes, trembles, then in one long shudder, breaks.
Man of woe blinds himself. Self-punishment? What for? To gain a deeper sight? Is this the woe of man? Is this the bitter fruit of guilt? What for? Exile? Banishment? Wasn't it enough?
Friends, it was Apollo that made this be. My sins spread like maggots in a garbage bin, and so I took away my sight. Why not? I do not wish to see a fresh dawn rise without my soulmate breathing by my side, nor see the stars nightly ride across the heavens without her sweet embrace, nor taste the morning fruit without her face to face me each and every day. And so my eyes are useless to me now, since there is nothing left I can enjoy. No friends, no welcome smiles into their hearth, just eyes frozen in horror, the God-detested man.
Enjoy your fate. Very bravely now.
Curse be the man who cut my bonds. Curse him for untying my fettered feet. Curse him for allowing me to walk my accursed destiny. Curse him!
Enough! Enough! Perhaps it would be better to live no longer than in darkness.
Enough. Enough of you and your advice. My act was good. It cleansed the world for me. I need no eyes to see my father's face, nor my unhappy mother in Hades' halls, nor eyes to see my sins engraved onto my poor children's innocent faces, nor eyes to see the city I cast away. None. Rather I should plug my ears as well and damn them of the world's great sound until I am just a carcass, left blind, deaf and dumb.
Creon, thank goodness you came to ease his woes. Please, take control as guardian of the state.
Creon, I have no words strong enough to rebuild a citadel of love I butted down with my thick skull.
I am not here to feed upon your sorrows, nor flay you with but memories of the past, nor shove the words back in your throat. The gods have thrust your face in your own muck. Therefore, escort him swiftly to his own, where only a family's ear and eye should see and hear a family's intimate tragedy.
No home, no family, no smell of past, dear Creon. You must kick me out, and swiftly too, like you would a mad dog, lest it infect you with its loathsome bite. Why don't you just kill me? Kill me! Go on, kill me! Kill the beast! The parasite! Kill me!
It's not for me to do this thing.
Then give leave to bury my wife with everything we ever shared or loved. Give her a tomb befitting of her state. This city, Creon, must never see my face again, and thus the curse will be lifted. The blemishes will swiftly dry once this disease is plucked out from the city's eye. I will go back to my childhood hills and wait out my allotted time, away from the sounds of humankind.
Poor man. Is there not one thing in the world to aid your solitary journey?
Yes. Yes, dear Creon, and bless you for asking me. My poor little orphan girls. Let them be cared for, never shunned for what was never any fault of theirs. Sweet birds that sang at every meal. Their joyous laughter was my daily feast. Just one more time I want to touch them again. Creon, just one more time I want to see them. Please. Please grant me this one thing, Creon, please. What's that? I can hear them crying. Poor children. Creon, you pitied me.
I did. And I brought you here for your delight.
Children, come here. Come into your father's arms. How will you learn to fly without your father's branches in which to hide? And what man will marry you and risk their seed being contaminated by murderers' tainted blood? Come here. Creon, I ask one more thing of your generous soul. You are their uncle, their blood, their mother's brother. Please be father to them. Open your heart and give them warmth, please. Farewell, my ones. You will always be in my heart.
Enough farewells now, Oedipus. Go inside. I'll see that they are treated well. For my own sister's sake, I could do no less.
Send me off. Announce it strongly now.
That I'll do. But first, release your children.
I will. It's just so hard, Creon. No, I can't do it. Pull them away.
Stop it, Oedipus. Stop being master now. Citizens of our ancestral Thebes, I banish for all times and evermore the once almighty Oedipus, our king. In accordance with the city's holy laws, we have now purged this unsolved crime that like some bloated and unburied corpse sent plumes of stench to the gods up high. Now we have cleansed our house.